right, Shalom, this is Gamal Yala out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. It's a quick lesson. And as you see, the black woman strikes again, with foolishness, but she said basically white supremacy is not real and the world is not in danger because anyone's white, and so on and so forth. So I'm just gonna go straight into it. Well, number one is not a thing about color. Okay. The people, we say so-called white people because that's what they call themselves. Okay, but they're really biblically Edomites. Okay, that's their biblical nationalities. The self-proclaimed white people are Edomites. Okay, now the reason why it's not a thing about color is because through intermingling of different nations, all right, the mixing of different races, you will have Israelites, which the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. And so you'll have lighter skin or even pale skin Israelites. Okay, like I said, through mixing, so it's not a thing about skin color. All right, Israelites will come looking like any race of people. Same thing as Edomites. Okay, so it's not a thing about skin color. Now, what she's talking about is Edomites. Okay, and she said that nobody's in danger because, well, yeah, you are in danger because look at their track record. Okay, look at their track record. All right, they have done nothing but evil and wickedness on the planet Earth. Okay, they have raped, robbed, and murdered, plundered, all in the name of money and capitalism and greed. Okay, and there is white supremacy. It does still exist, because she's trying to use a statement saying, oh, well, black people kill black people. So-called black people kill black people. Yeah, that's a true statement. And they're part of the problem. And actually, if we're going even deeper, black on black crime stems from the thug life and gangster rap and things that were pushed. That was an agenda that was pushed on the so-called blacks. So if we're being truthful, black on black crime was systematically that was created, and pushed by the so-called white man. Black on black crime was created, by the so-called white man. Not saying that, a black person had never killed a black person before, but he pushed that narrative because that was a divide and conquer tactic. You turn them against each other, put guns in their neighborhoods, put guns in their neighborhood, put crack in their neighborhoods, put them in poverty, in government subsidized housing, and see what happens. Yeah, of course you're gonna have crime. You're gonna have people killing each other, but that was done by design. All right, which is stemming from the so-called white man. Okay, which really the Lord really ultimately is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai used the white man, the so-called white man, to push that on our people. because really it was the curses because of our ancestors disobeying the Most High. So that was our punishment. As part of the curses is that, well, let's get it in Deuteronomy 28. Thine eye shall be evil. See if I can find it. I can't find it, but basically it says, thine eyes shall be evil against thy brother. Let me see. Yeah. Here it is. Deuteronomy 15 and 19. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the seventh year, the year of release is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be a sin unto thee. Okay. So, and this is a scenario that's not Deuteronomy 28, but basically it's saying, you know, it's condemning, you know, black, you know, Israelite on Israelite crime. Okay. You know, you're not supposed to, that's considered murder. Okay. You can, you know, Israel was killing their enemies in battle. You know, and that was ordained by the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. But to kill another Israelite, that's murder. That's what in the Ten Commandments it says, thou shalt not murder. That's what it's talking about. You shouldn't kill another Israelite. Okay. All right. So let's see. So all right, let's go to white supremacy. All right, because people think just because there's black on black crime, oh, well, white supremacy doesn't exist. Well, you're basically ignoring the problem. That's called scapegoating. You know, you're ignoring the problem. You're ignorant to the problem, and you're pointing the problem to another direction. So instead of addressing white supremacy or you know the facts of white supremacy, she's just pointing the finger in another direction. Oh, well, there's black on black crime. Well, yeah, but what about you know white on black crime, so-called white on black crime, right? This is Sirach 10 and 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay, so because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Now, you got to ask yourself, how did the so-called white man get in power? Okay. First of all, who is in power? You read Job 9:24. It says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So what race of people, ask yourself, what race of people own all own a vast majority of the earth's resources? Okay. And when you look at the very, very top mega corporations, they're all ran by so-called Jews, small hats, you know. That's just the facts. They called Kanye, anti-Semitic. You know, they called him that, but he was stating the facts that corporations are ran by the small hats. All right, but how did they get into this power seat? Okay, through deception, man. All right, through deception and wickedness. So that's white supremacy. That was how they did that, man. That was exactly how they got into power. White supremacy. You know, white supremacy is just basically a phrase to explain that is it's a white man's world. Okay, supreme basically means the top. You know, you're the top guy. Okay, you're the supreme. So yeah, he is supreme in the earth. There is white supremacy in the earth. Okay? Because of his power. All right? And you know, like I said, she's ignoring. I mean, the so-called whites have killed more Israelites than anybody. If we're going to the facts, that's why I said she's ignoring the facts. And because it says unrighteous dealings, injuries. Those are injuries. You know, those are injuries. You know, so they have destroyed Israelites. Okay, millions and millions of Israelites. The amount of Israelites killed by another Israelite could never compare to the amount of Edomites that have killed Israelites. So there's way more Edomites that died. I'm sorry, there's way more Israelites that died by Edomites than there are by the so-called, you know, other Israelites. All right, way more. And really, honestly, like I said, because black on black crime was created by the so-called white man, you might as well blame him for those deaths too. For a lot of those deaths, you might as well blame him. Okay? So these are just the facts. This is what she's ignorant to. All right? But she probably grew up in a white neighborhood. She probably, you know, has a bunch of white friends and you know, basically defends them. You know, she probably, you know, only has a couple black friends, I'm sure. You know, they call them Oreos. Oreos. You black on the outside, but you white on the inside. So that's her. That's her. Looking for Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. So this is talking about the wicked, which is Esau. All right, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, okay, and has shed the blood of the Israelites. Just like I said, there's many Israelites that have had their blood shed by Edomites, by the wicked. Okay? Many. I mean, you can't even count it. You know? There are many Israelites that have died because of that hatred. And the original, you know, Jacob and Esau, you know, Esau had the nature of a murderer, man. You know, he wanted to murder his brother Jacob. And going back even further, you had Cain and Abel. All right, which is you know, Cain and Abel were both, you know, Cain had the spirit of Esau, all right? So going back even further, Cain had the spirit of a murderer. And then that spirit, that wicked murderer spirit translated to Esau, okay? So like I said, these are just the cold hard facts, all right? And this is what that woman is ignoring and she's ignorant to. So, you know, that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to touch on those points and do a response to that video. Lord willing, you were edified. I'm going to end off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Shalom.